How would you advocate for building maintenance? Our buildings are neglected, we need a plan.
So I have sat on that school building maintenance committee for the past 2 years, where the bulk of the project is for the new school building projects, the North Campus and the South Campus. There's also a school facilities and program design committee that I'm part of, where we are putting together a capital improvement plan to try and take care of all of the maintenance issues for all the buildings. Harbor School, there's issues there all the time. We just put a temporary boiler at the high school because the boiler, we were afraid that the only boiler that we had was going to fail and it might not get us through the winter. So we put a temporary boiler there at the high school. So I am part of the school building maintenance committee. It's actually split up into 2 meetings now, so it's time consuming, but I feel that it's important for the city to take care of our buildings.
Thank you, Ms. Jenny.
So the question is, how would you advocate?
How would you advocate for building maintenance?
Okay, so I think everyone needs to be aware first that the school building maintenance committee is chaired by the city. So the city holds a large stake of the control in the school building and maintenance committee, which a lot of people in the community are not aware of because it's called school maintenance. The city did decide that they were going to cut our maintenance funding by $5,000. This was after they flat funded us, which means that they awarded us a budget of same services. So we essentially covered the employees' health insurance, which actually made a deeper cut because those $5,000 we had to come up with to maintain our buildings. And I'm sure, as you all know, in the community, our buildings are not maintained. We have to have better collaboration with the city when it comes to making these decisions, because right now the city does not have the school buildings or the schools in general in its best interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mosley.
So I haven't sat on the building committee. This is my first time, and I'm sitting with 2 incumbents, and I appreciate your answers. However, I am a grandmother of a student at this school, and I've gone up to the gym and I've seen the shattered doors, and I've seen the bathrooms inside the school. Now, advocating for it would be to make sure that there's funds set aside for the maintenance of these buildings, to make sure that, however we do those funds, but we talk about non-lapsing funds for building maintenance. We absolutely should have that. And what we should do is put it in, set it up and propose it so that it protects the Board of Education and it protects the city council as well. It should clearly spell out what the funds are going to be spent for, and what it entails. I mean, you can't plan for a roof blowing off or those types of things. So if you have that fund set aside, you can immediately, as a board, go in and fix what we need fixed. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to comment on 2 things. So Regina talked about the cut from the city. So they cut the public works budget that allocated funds towards the school. And once again, it is a city-run facility, so the non-lapsing fund is something that we definitely need to push for, because it does do all the things that you're talking about. It does give us the room to budget for things that we are not prepared for by establishing that non-lapsing fund, and then to re-include public works back into the school system and have those positions open to more community members, because that cut is what Gina said, it costs the school in small ways, and they allocate for big things.
Thank you, Ms. Stricker.
Thank you. I agree with the non-lapsing fund. I agree with the impression of Harbor School. And I did help call for that capital improvement plan through my finance committee. I have raised the issue of insufficient elementary space, which is sort of the thing that nobody wants to talk about. And we need pre-K. If we want universal pre-K, we need the space. I'm sure my fellow board member Regina meant to say $500,000 that the city cut us, but that means what I'm going to advocate to the city council is for a third appropriation that deals only with building and maintenance. That would be an appropriation for programs for the city, one for programs for our budget, and one for all buildings, all maintenance.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Mr. Perot.
Right, so we have to have a better relationship with the city council. I served on the city council. The two bodies don't trust each other, unfortunately. So we have to build that trust. We have to get back to having quarterly meetings with them. We have to have our two heads, the superintendent and the mayor, meet to have those discussions and lay out what we want to do. I was on the council. We did over this school that we're sitting in. We did Jennings, Nathan Hale, Winthrop. There's no reason why since 2014 we shouldn't have a school. But more importantly, we need to get Harbor School off and get a new school and add on to a school.
Thank you very much, Mr. Perot.
I'm sorry, thank you, Mr. Hart, for correcting me about the $500,000. Just to talk more about the school buildings and the reason why we don't have a new school that did go to referendum in 2014. We as all educated voters voted to have a new school that should have been finished last year. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any movement on that because of a special relationship with the now in charge owner's rep, who is Craig, who unfortunately has been told they can no longer represent any school district on new building projects, but are still in the city and working closely with the mayor.
Okay, thank you.